So, welcome everybody. It is Monday night. We've just got 9 o'clock. Lots of people are joining. Thank you for those who are joining us for the first time. You might have just got an email that I just sent out to the email list, and that's on this. If you're listening on the replay as well, or you're watching on the replay, maybe you got that email late and you're a little bit late to the party, and now you're watching on the replay. Come and join us live next time. We do this every Monday night, 9 p.m. UK time. Do something like tonight called Motivation and Mind Hacks. Then we do a book club, and then we do a Q&A, and then we go back to Motivation and Mind Hacks, and then a book club, then Q&A, like each week. So tonight is Motivation and Mind Hacks. And I want to talk about something that I've seen bandied all around the internet today, and I wasn't actually aware of. I kind of had it in the back of my head, but wasn't truly kind of like aware of until I saw a lot of people talking about it, and that is the hashtag Blue Monday that's going around. As we record this, I mean, this is going out live on the 21st of January 2019, and according to... Well, I'm going to tell you where it came from, actually, in a minute. According to some science or some theory, this is Blue Monday, the most depressing day of the year. So first of all, I mean, it hasn't been for me, like, whatsoever. But how's it been for you? Let me know. Myra, good evening. Caroline, good evening. Lulaide, got the email. Thank you for being here. Appreciate being here. Barbara, thank you so much for being here. Alex, it is Alex. All right, Alex, thanks for being here. I knew it was you, mate. Alex has had a Blue Monday, but thanks to HMRC. Yeah, those actors in the community who are self-employed and you earn enough to actually declare tax, you will have to do your tax return, well, by the end of this month. So maybe you've had a bit of a Blue Monday doing that. Bernard, good evening. Gary, good evening. Lee, good evening. Bobby, good evening. Warren, good evening. Harry, good evening. Nick, good evening. Dawn, good evening. Everybody, just good evening. And those who are new, thanks. Matt's just joined. Thanks for joining us, Matt. Come and join us regularly. We do this every Monday night. It's completely free. I just hang out with the community. You're all obviously somehow you're on the Acts on This email list, or you're on Acts on This as a member. actsonthis.tv. It's a website that I run for actors. There's like over 200 hours worth of interviews on there with the biggest casting directors, actors, writers, agents, producers, directors in the TV industry. If you want to work more in the TV industry and you don't want to figure it all out on your own, go and listen to those interviews, and the casting directors will literally sit there and tell you how you can get auditions with them, what you need to be doing in the room to book the job. It's going to make your life a lot easier. But on a Monday night, we do something extra. Tonight is Motivation and Mind Hacks. I'm going to bring up a presentation on the screen. I hope, if I've got this set up properly. And yeah, we're going to look at tonight. This is just to G you up, right? If it has been a shit day for you. Dougal, good evening, my man. Hope you're well, mate. Dougal Ram in the house. He was in a film I covered behind the scenes of with Stephen Graham recently called Boiling Point. Dougal, hope you're going to go to the premiere of that, mate, on the 7th of February. Trying to book it today. Yeah, cheers, Dougal, for joining us. So tonight, yeah, we're looking at 8 encouraging quotes to quash Blue Monday, right? I've handpicked these, and we're going to talk about each one, and it's hopefully going to give you some perspective. It's going to get you G'd up, going to get you in the right frame of mind for success this week. If you've had a bit of a slow day, we're going to change it all around tomorrow. Blue Monday is a name given to a day, which is today, the 21st of January, in January, claimed to be the most depressing day of the year. The concept was first publicised as part of a 2005 press release from holiday company Sky Travel. Who the... Sky Travel? I've no idea. But Sky Travel apparently claims to have calculated this date using an equation. All right, Bill, I don't know what equation Sky Travel used, but we've got Sky Travel to thank for Blue Monday. Apparently, I've no idea who Sky Travel are or why they decided to come up with that. I think they're probably just trying to sell holidays, to be honest. I've got another slide up on your screen. It says F Blue Monday. If you're feeling blue tonight, let's look at some great words of encouragement that will have you back on track in no time. So we're going to start straight away. Let's just crack on with quote number 1. One of my favourite quotes of all time by the Dalai Lama, okay? There are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday, and the other one is called tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. What a legend. So ultimately, yeah, forget Blue Monday or whatever you call it, whatever you want to call it, okay? You're probably only going to be blue if you're either regretting what you did yesterday or you're fearing what you're going to do tomorrow. So it's just another shout out to go, actually, you know what? 151,000 people who woke up yesterday didn't get to wake up today. Everyone who woke up on Blue Monday today, you're all freaking winning because you woke up. Literally, you beat 151,000 people worldwide to actually just be here and be alive. So you've got to use your days wisely. And I'm going to start, I think I might put a little mini course together for everyone that's on this, or premium members, just to give you this for free. Remember last week I went live in the Facebook group every day and I set people tasks every single day. It seemed to work really well. So what I do on a Monday is what I call Mail Out Monday. And for those who haven't heard of this, I'm going to recap on it. It's dead simple concepts. All you do is you send one email out to someone in the acting industry who you've already met, you've connected with in the past, but maybe that connection's gone a bit cold or you've not seen them for a while and you want to reconnect, right? Dead simple. Could be someone you've already met, an actor, a director, a casting director, I don't know, anybody, a cameraman, a runner, whatever, it doesn't matter. And you want to reconnect with that person. You send them an email. You're doing this first thing on a Monday morning, by the way. And then you choose one person in the industry who you want to reach out and connect to, who you've never met. And this is somebody who you're like, you know what, I can add value to their life, they can add value to mine. Again, it could be a casting director, they're casting something that you'd be perfect for. It could be a director, that they're trying to crowdfund for something and you might want to donate some money. It could just literally anything at all. A fellow actor who's trying to achieve something you've already achieved, and you're like, actually, you know what, I can help you with that. And then in exchange, maybe you can help me with something. And I've operated like this for quite a while, about a year doing this, and it's paid absolute dividends. I did it again today, did it last week when I was telling everybody else to do it, and it's led to loads of stuff. It's led to 2 podcasts next week. I wanted to reach out to a guy called Stephen Bailey, who's a comedian turned presenter. You'll see him a lot on Channel 5, Channel 4. He works a lot with Zoe Ball. I met him 8 years ago when he was presenting behind the scenes of Surviving Actors. The Actors Conference that's coming up on the 9th of February. Are you going to be in London on the 9th of February? Because I'm going to go down for that, just to do like a little act on this meetup. It would be awesome to get everyone, who's down in London, or anyone who's just going there together. We can all, get together and hang out. But I was like, you know what? I've seen this guy hustle from doing a behind-the-scenes video for Surviving Actors 9 years ago to now working with massive names on primetime TV. I feel I can help him. He's just started a podcast, I noticed, so I can definitely help him with podcasting because I've been doing it for years. In exchange, I want him to do a podcast with me, and ultimately tell us as a community how you can get into presenting and the hustle, because he hasn't done it the traditional way. No way has this guy gone in any front doors. He's gone like through the side door, the window, he has not done anything by the book, so to speak. Super inspirational guy. He's going to be doing a podcast with us next week. I've got a meeting with somebody else on the evening of that. That's on the Thursday the 29th. And that's all through just sending these emails out. And the great thing is generally on a Monday morning, you send it out by 10 o'clock. You've got to reply by 1, 2 o'clock. You feel pumped. You're like, yes, I'm making progress straight away. That'll get rid of your Blue Monday straight away. So that's the first one. Ultimately, live in the present. Like, you've only got today. Fuck whatever happened yesterday and don't fear what's going to happen tomorrow. You've literally got today. Use it. Get your stuff together and actually, start making... Stephen is on a camping program with Cheryl Baker. Yeah, he is. It's something like called Celebrities Go Camping. He's the presenter for that, Warren, as well. Yeah, he's on there. He's on that. But yeah, ultimately, Chris Stone's just joined as well. UK's #1 showreel producer. He's in the house. Hope you're well, Chris Stone. So that's the first quote. There are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday, and the other one is called tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. Okay? Dalai Lama, legend, knows what he's talking about. Quote number 2, it's another cracker. Albert Einstein. Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. So I chose this one because I think a reason why a lot of people might have had a Blue Monday today is because they are basically living a life that they think other people want them to live. So ultimately, they are doing a job. You might be stuck in a job that's outside your acting career that you freaking hate, but you're doing it to please your mum, to please your dad, to please your brother, to please your sister, your wife, your husband, whoever it is, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or to please some kind of crazy fear in your head you have about stepping outside of your comfort zone and going for your acting career. And you might be in a job that actually, you know what, you're not very good at. You might be, I'm going to just pick something out of thin air. I don't know. There might be someone out there who's working as a receptionist, doing clerical tasks, and actually he or she is just a born creative and should be acting, singing, dancing, creating films, editing, whatever, something in the creative industry. And they're not clerical. They might not have the organizational skills. They're not going to be a producer. They're going to be in front of the camera, and yet, they're in this job that they hate and that they're not very good at. Thus, they just think they're shit, and they're being told they're shit all day, every day, because they might not be performing very well. And that's because they are, being judged by something that they really shouldn't be in. So just have a little look at what you're doing. I know I spent so long in a job that I freaking hated, not because anyone else forced me into it, but because I forced myself into it. Back in the day when I worked in game, awful computer game shop that I worked in for at least 6 years too long. But I was just so scared of stepping out of that comfort zone. Because I was like, oh my God, I just convinced myself that I needed the minimum wage job to survive, without realizing, that if I left this and it all went tits up, I could go and get any other minimum wage job. That was always going to be there for you. Trust me, your minimum wage job is always going to be there for you, right? But you might be in a minimum wage job that you absolutely hate and you're feeling like shit because you're not even very good at that. And that's because you're in the completely wrong job, living the wrong life. You're literally that fish being judged by its ability to climb a tree. Fish don't have feet, I don't think. I don't think there's any rare breeds that can climb trees. So again, that's another reason you might be blue this Monday. John Healy in the house. All right, John. Thanks for being here, mate. He says, good advice. There's an Irish proverb: a good start is half the work. Nice. Oh, and is that the Irish for it? I dosak maith leith na hebra. I can't speak, mate. I can't speak Irish, but yeah, that's awesome. It is, honestly, a good start is half the work. It is. So many people, mate, just don't ever get that start because they don't give it themselves. They choose not to because they allow fear to masquerade as this practicality, telling them that it's not the right time to do it for whatever reason, and to them it will never be the right time. If you want the ultimate, you've got to be willing to pay the ultimate price. It's not tragic to die doing what you love. Oh, Alex is throwing the quotes out as well. That's a quote from Bodhi. I love it. I love all these comments. Andrew's in the house as well. Great to see you, Andrew. So that's one of my second favourite quotes. I've got another 8 of these, guys, and we can have a little chat about which is your favourite. But I've genuinely chosen them all because of this whole Blue Monday bullshit thing. And these are the reasons why I think people might be feeling blue this Monday. That's a really big one. You're living the life. Bronnie Ware, that book by Bronnie Ware, The 5 Top Regrets of the Dying. The top regret was I wish I'd lived the life for myself that I wanted to live, not the life that other people, I thought other people wanted me to live. Don't live your life on someone else's terms, guys. Seriously. Quote number 3. It's an Oprah quote. She's a ledge. Every time you state what you want or believe, you're the first to hear it. It's a message to both you and others about what you think is possible. Don't put a ceiling on yourself. Oprah Winfrey, I've got such respect for, is a woman who has never, ever, ever put a ceiling on herself. When you look at actually, where she came from, she's a billionaire now, but the impact she's made along the way, and how she's ultimately always asked, why not me, and she's always gone for it. And yeah, we know that so much of the training that I do with people in general, not just actors, is that it all starts with you. It absolutely all starts with you up here. And your belief system, and ultimately the initial belief you have in your own potential. I'd be really intrigued how many people on this call right now, or those watching or listening on the replay, if I asked you, and you don't have to answer this in the comments or anything, but honestly, this is a really soul-bearing question in terms of the acting industry. Do you honestly believe that you can make it all the way, to the top of the game in TV? Do you honestly believe you can win, and it's not about winning and, all this sort of stuff, but in terms of to be acknowledged at the top of this industry, you will be winning BAFTAs, you will be getting RTS awards, there's Emmys, there's Oscars, when it comes to film and American TV as well. Do you honestly see yourself, in your head? Can you visualize you getting to that point? Or are you massively putting a glass ceiling on yourself by telling yourself, oh, you know what, I'm only ever really seeing myself at that level. I'm only ever going to play, the few lines in this TV soap, or, I'm just going to be a background artist, honestly, because ultimately the belief you have in your potential, we know through science and there's so much of this that I've studied over the years, is that completely dictates how much action you're going to take to get that thing. If you really don't believe you're going to ever be a leading, actor, actress, or working on top TV or top film, then you're not going to take anywhere near the action that's congruent with achieving that result. You're going to take little action, stay very, very safe. Sometimes you might even kid yourself that you're doing enough, and I know that because I've done that. Like, really have, and I know right now I could be doing more. Absolutely know, as I say this, there's more that I could be doing. There always is. There's a next level we can all get to, but it's about not closing your own potential down before you've even tried to do something, and you'll do that, like Oprah says there, like literally in your head when you state, with that internal voice, what you want or what you believe you can achieve. You are the first one to hear it. And I say this all the time. I say your subconscious just heard that. Sometimes people will throw away comments and go, oh, I'm fucking stupid. And I just go, your subconscious just heard that. And it's just a reinforcement. And they go, oh, but I didn't mean it. So it doesn't matter. Well, why did you say it then if you didn't mean it? Your subconscious is always listening. And when you say you want or you believe you can have something, you're the first person to hear it. It completely dictates what happens on the outside, what begins on the inside. Just see Steve here. Steve in the house. Someone just say Steve. Mark Joseph's in the house as well. All right, Mark. Hope you are good, mate. John says, I feel you can create what you want in this, but success is different for everyone. Yeah, it totally is. It really, really is. There is absolutely no definition of success that's the same for everybody. And I would never, try to class one thing as more successful than the other. It's definitely not about awards and money and all that sort of stuff. I know a lot of very miserable, rich, people with mantelpieces full of awards. Equally, I know some very, very happy people who, have none of that, but are just getting up every day and creating stuff and enjoying the journey and enjoying the process. It's not about that end result. I promise you, I don't have those things, but oh my God, I have spoken to enough people, and I really mean this, who have achieved things that you really would be scared of dreaming of achieving. And they've been like really still struggling with all the basic shit they were struggling with before they had that thing, before they had that money, before they had that statue on the mantelpiece, whatever it is. It really isn't that. Please don't fuck yourself up by thinking that if you don't have that stuff that you've lost or you're less successful, because it really isn't about that at all. It's about what success means to you. But you've got to, it begins with you. You've got to believe you can have that success, whatever it is, before you have any chance of getting it whatsoever. Alex says, success depends on viewpoints. Definitely. I had to define it for myself. I can live in the life that I want through all strands of performance and creative endeavor. That's enough. A roof over my head, freedom to live. That's success, not necessarily fame or fortune. Totally, mate. With you 100%. But you've just got to, whatever that is for you, you've just got to look at it and go, am I actually believing, genuinely, do I believe I have the potential to do that thing, to have that success that I am classing as success? That's where it all begins. Quote number 4, Will Rogers, awesome American actor. This is brilliant. This one I have to remind myself of a lot. And again, this is a massive reason for people having blue Mondays today. If you've had a blue Monday, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. Just going to let that settle because it's good, isn't it? Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. It's a bit like water. Still water is stagnant water. In life, I believe, as human beings, we're the same as everything else that's living on this planet. If we're not growing, we are dying. If a plant isn't growing, it is dying. You are genuinely getting older every single day. So you are, without being morbid, moving closer and closer to death. But if you are, if you are not growing physically, I think you're dying in terms of you're not looking after your body. If you're not growing mentally, you're dying. If your relationship with your significant other isn't growing, it's dying. If your network in this industry isn't growing, it is dying. It genuinely just is. If your relationship with your agent isn't growing, it is dying. If your ability and you spending time owning your craft, if you're not putting time into that, if that isn't growing, it's dying. If you just sit still, I have to remind myself this a lot. And sometimes, what's really useful for me? Sometimes when I think I'm doing really, really well and I get a little bit complacent, if I see somebody, this is where envy can be a really, really useful thing. I say a lot about comparing on social media and how, you know, it's the death of everybody. It really can be, but you can use other people's humble brags on social media as fuel sometimes. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, it's all right, you know, I'm cruising along, everything's good, and then I'll just see somebody, I think competition's healthy sometimes, I'll see somebody tweeting or Instagram about something that they're doing, I'll go, holy shit, what a great idea. I don't feel like, oh my God, I'm so defeated by it. It's like, wow, like that's really good. I'm now going to work harder, or I'm going to kind of emulate that, but in my own way. I guess it's inspiration, isn't it, more than envy? But I do see sometimes people, you know, with things that I want, and you do get that pang of jealousy where you're like, oh God, that would be nice to have. But if you use that as a barometer to go, well, you know what, Ross, that's the path you should be walking down to get that. You know, if you feel that envy, you're probably on the right path because, you know, that's the thing that you want. You know it's right for you. If I see somebody win, if I see, what's his name? Who's the F1 driver? Oh, God, we're going out with Nicole Scherzinger. What's his name? Why has his name gone completely out of my head? Give me in the comments. You have to give me the comments. Lewis Hamilton. If I see Lewis Hamilton win the F1 and he's on the podium, I have like, there is zero jealousy there. Like, honestly, I can look at that and go, great, really good. I have absolutely no interest in that whatsoever. If I see somebody, you know, like flying in, you know, just creating like an amazing short film or just starring in a feature film or a great TV show or winning this, you know, BAFTA for this or that, where I go, okay, right, I feel some envy and a little bit of jealousy there. In a positive way, it doesn't crush me, and I certainly don't want to cry about it. It just reinforces that I'm on the right path. You know what? I'm going for the thing that I feel is my calling in life. And I know that if I am just, you know, even if I'm on the right track, but I'm standing still, you know, I'm going to get run over, ultimately, if I'm just sitting there. So I've got to get up and I've got to run down that path, or I've got to hitch a lift, or I've got to do whatever I need to do, you know, to get further down the road. So it's a great quote by Will Rogers there. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there, and you'll get run over by your competition. Will Smith said, didn't he? Another great quote I've not included tonight, that hard work beats talent when talent isn't working hard. So you might all be talented on here. I'm sure you are. I know what you are. There's a load of talent on here. Jenna, thank you for the Lewis Hamilton name there. Everyone's saying Hamilton. I got it in the end. Yeah, you know, even if you are on the right path, doesn't mean you can just sit back. I've done it myself before and I've been overtaken, and again, you know, it's given me the kick up the ass to go, right, come on, got to get back in the game now. But this really applies to me a lot of the time, this quote. I'm more than happy to admit to that. John says, Ross, most empowering thing I did was write and produce a period comedy 30-minute film. People loved it and volunteered to make it. Awesome, man. So when was that, John? And then what have you done with it since, mate? Let's put it in the Facebook group, in the Acts on This Facebook group, where you're probably watching this, to be honest. Or you're watching this on the Facebook page. The Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/Acts on This TV. This is probably just facebook.com/Acts on This TV, the actual page. It says a year later, the film was completely edited. Oh, and there's the link for it. Nice one, mate. Dougal says, don't know if it's okay to do so, but I put my monologue on Twitter. Would love retweets and see what you all think. Dougal, it's totally okay, mate. Don't ask permission to put anything out into the world. That's where you'll lose. You don't need anybody's permission by your own, mate. Please include @Act on This TV. I've not got loads. I've got about 16,000 followers though, mate. I'll retweet it for you. I know Chris Stone's on here as well. He's got like 60,000 followers. If it's good enough, you might get a retweet off Chris. You never know. Then that between us, we can get it out to nearly 80,000 people. Lowry says, hang on, Petch was tops off. What? I have no idea what you mean there, Lowry. I've maybe just missed a comment. I have no idea. But yeah, that's quote number 4, a Will Rogers quote. Quote number 5, Mahatma Gandhi said, I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. Another reason you would have had a Blue Monday today if you're allowing this to happen. If you're allowing other people's opinions of you to control how you feel about yourself. I said this a lot, and it's not egotistical. You have to get to a point in your life where your own opinion of yourself in this industry, and just as a human being, but particularly in the acting industry, because it's one, in life is one thing, but this industry can be so critical, or people fear it of being critical when it's probably not that critical. But yeah, you've got to get to a point where your opinion of yourself means more, and this is not an overnight thing, but means more than the combined opinion of everybody else out there. So Dougal, good on you for putting that thing out on Twitter, your monologue on Twitter. Most people will not put anything of their performance or anything that's going to show any vulnerability out on Facebook or on Twitter because they feel, right, that's me vulnerable, that's dangerous. What happens if, God, I don't know, actor anonymous 269, I don't know if it would be, I'm making it up, tweets me that it's shit, or tweets me, that my acting shit, or the piece is shit, or the lighting shit, or just, I'm a terrible person. So many people don't throw their hat into the arena for fear of that. And it's sad when people are afraid of what their friends and family will think, but when they're even afraid of what random people will think who they've never met, that's dangerous. That's where you will lose. You will lose instantly if you are, if you're allowing that. So if you're hung up or you're allowing other people's low standards, I would say, to affect your head and where you're at, that's their dirty feet in your mind, and you've got to kick them out, man, as quick as possible. And this could be people in your personal life as well. Somebody, I say this a lot as well, you've got, one way to get over all of this, is to just, one, project positivity. If anybody's ever shit towards you, ever nasty, ever snaps, ever gives you some, feedback on something in a critical way, or people are just not very good human beings towards you. Two things you can do. One, project positivity onto them. So the first thing, for instance, say someone cuts you up in the car, the first thing you want to do is get on the horn. Dickhead. They've just cut you up. How about you project some positivity, because that getting on the horn and getting all irate is just going to put you through trauma. Okay, literally physical turmoil, right? When you feel it in your head, you feel it physically as well. So rather than put yourself through that physical turmoil, because it's not really going to do anything. So that person in the car in front of you, they don't know how you're feeling. You've got to carry that with you for the rest of the morning, or whatever. If you project positivity and go, you know what, that car just cut me up, not because he's a dickhead, because they've just had a phone call to say that their dad's dying in hospital and that they've got like 30 minutes to get there. That's why he sped out of that road, didn't really look properly, and cut me up. Diffuses the situation massively. That's happened in my life as well. Literally, that phone call. There was no one cutting anyone up, but, it does happen, and it can happen. So that will diffuse the situation. And the other thing you can do as well is deploy gratitude. If someone's just been a total knob, just deploy gratitude that you are not them. Be super grateful that you are not living with whatever they are living with in their mind to be able to treat another person like that. And it will just blow over you completely. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm just so grateful. Like, I do not have the capacity to be that much of a dick. You don't need to say that to them. You just need to think it. But ultimately, that's kicking them out of your head. And they will not walk through your mind with dirty feet anymore. So that's quote number 5. I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. Harry says, just keep a bag of your favourite sweets in your car. Take one of them instead. Exactly, Harry. Hey, Harry, check this out. If you ever see these, I keep a box of my favourite Haribo down the side of my desk. Don't let anybody... There's a personal trainer I work with called Mark. Don't let him see them. They're there, though. They were only there since Christmas, and I'm nearly at the whole box. It's probably about 1 kilogram. But yeah, absolutely. Just let it go. Forgive people for you, not for them. People. What's the quote? Ultimately, it's about saying that, look, the ultimate prison is the prison of the mind, and when you forgive somebody, you unlock the key to let yourself out, not the other person. I think that's really, really true. We need to be entertainment entrepreneurs, says John. You do, John. You definitely do, in order to get far in this business. Haribo sweets, yeah, man. Oh yeah, Haribo. See what I mean, Harry? I didn't even know I was making such a great comment, Haribo. What other comments have we got here? It's not the critic who counts, says Alex, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled. This is a great quote. Or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms. And it goes on and on and on. It's a wicked quote, that, though. Man in the arena, it's from Theodore Roosevelt. It's a speech by Theodore Roosevelt, Man in the arena. Yeah, man, they're the people who you should be championing. People who throw their hats in the arena, because so few do, for fear of some bullshit. And they never, they die with regret, to be honest. Wendy Walker in the house, a lady who will not die with regret and make some cracking cookies. Quote number 6, she always brings them to the Acts on This meetups. If you've not been to an Acts on This meetup in London, first Saturday of every month, go. Wendy will supply you with cookies and cakes. She's amazing. Quote number 6, an Oscar Wilde quote. What seems to us as bitter trials are often blessings in disguise. So it sounds quite basic, this, but again, another reason why people are going to be having Blue Mondays today, if you've indeed had a Blue Monday, is because you are not, and it's, it's really difficult, this. You've got to look for, you're maybe not seeing right now the good that is in the situation you're in. And even if it's really, really bad, and I've been through some really, really bad situations in my own life, and every time I have, when I look back, these are the situations that have really made me a better person, have allowed me to grow, and have ultimately, enabled me to come out the other side way, way stronger. Life's fine. When life's fine and everything's good, it's very easy to be optimistic, isn't it? It's really fucking hard to be optimistic when life isn't good. And it's at that time where you really need to be. And sometimes you've got to stand back and ask yourself the question, listen, I know it's shit right now. What good is there in this situation that I cannot currently see? What good is there in this situation that I cannot currently see? Because as Oscar says here, what seems to us as bitter trials are genuinely often blessings in disguise. There might be relationships that have ended that you have been absolutely heartbroken about, but down the line, 5 years later, could be as long as 10 years later, you're like, oh my goodness me, had that not happened, this wouldn't have happened and that wouldn't have happened. And then, you can't connect, as another great quote, Steve Jobs, can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking back. You will very often see how those things happen for you, not to you. So right now, there might be something happening in your life that's really, really bad and it's difficult to get through right now. I know there is for my cameraman, Lee. His mum died on New Year's Day. Really, really difficult time. He's dealing with a funeral right now. And I would like to give a shout out very quickly to something that's incredible. Please, I would love it if people would get involved with it. Julie Hesmondhalgh, who I had on the on actsonthis.tv for an interview recently. She was on my vlog as well. You can go to youtube.com/watch Ross to watch that. There's like 50 episodes up on there. Julie set up a group called 500 Acts of Kindness. And what it is, it's a group to aim to get 500 people together. There's 350 of us in the group so far. And those 500 people all donate £1 a week to the 500 Acts of Kindness bank account. So it ends up with, you'll donate £4 a month, basically. You set a standing order up for £1 a week. You can do it on your banking app in 10 minutes. Well, not even 10 minutes, 2 minutes. And you give £4 a month away. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when there's 500 people doing it, that's £500 a week this group gets, and then you can nominate people who need that money, not yourself when you don't need it. This week I was like, look, Lee's really struggling. He's got he can barely afford a respectable funeral for his mum. His mum died on New Year's Day, bless him, and he's the only one dealing with this. No other close family. It's very complicated, but no other close family are helping. And I was like, listen, can we help Lee, and can I nominate him for this week? And Lee's got nearly, actually, some extra donations as well. We got nearly £1,000 for him towards his mum's funeral, which, will just make a massive difference to him. If you search for the group 500 Acts of Kindness on Facebook and on Twitter, just follow the group, find a bit more about it, and you can get the bank details. You can, if you be up for it, it's a £1 a week donation, basically, or just whatever you can afford. Maybe if you just can do, even if you just do £1 a month, it doesn't matter. But you will be part of something that I think is going to have some huge impact on some. And it's people. It's not charities. It's individual people where that money makes a massive difference. So that's, Lee's going through a huge trial, bitter trial right now. I've lost a parent. I lost my dad in 2006, and I look back now and I go, at the time it's one of the hardest things I ever went through. But how much stronger it's made me as a person. If it had to happen, I have to look at it, as weird as it sounds, as a blessing, because I couldn't have stopped that happening. So sometimes there's things in your life that you just, you cannot choose the situation you're in, but you can choose how you're responding to it right now. And I think this Oscar Wilde quote is just about, realizing that, if this thing had to happen, let's have it happening for us, not to us. It makes a huge difference. Sharon says that's lovely to help him. Honestly, just he's such a good guy. He spent such a lot of his life, since I've known him, helping other people out. I was like, God, this guy just needs a break, man. He works for minimum wage in a cinema when he's not vlogging with me. So he really needed financial help, and it was just nice to have that group there to do that. So please become a part of that if you can. 500 acts of kindness. Search for it on Twitter. You'll find all the details out. Sharon's there. All right, Sharon says, I don't regret anything that's happened. I'm grateful for all of it because it's happened. Because if it hadn't have happened, then I wouldn't be the woman I am today. Exactly. It's how you've really got to look at it, isn't it? Definitely. Really interesting. And what have you posted there, Alex? The Stanford commencement address. Is that Steve Jobs's when he spoke at Stanford? All right, Francisco. Francisco's in the house as well. Thank you for being here, mate. So yeah, that's quote number 6. Quote number 7. I love it. A Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Truly, I so believe in this. And again, this is down to choice. You all have, including myself. It took me a while to realise this. I definitely used to operate from a bit of a victim mentality in my early 20s. I'm 36 now. I'm definitely through that. But I used to, again, think a lot of things were happening to me, not for me. And that ultimately everyone else, back then, everyone else was deciding what I was going to do, to be honest. I felt I had no power in the acting industry whatsoever. I felt that, it was completely down to my agent what happened, or even if I could get an agent, kind of what I was put forward for. I didn't have any, kind of say in my career. It's just such a victim fixed mindset that I used to have. Until a lot of personal development and a few things happened in my life where I realized, actually, you know what? No, I decide the person that I am destined to become. And it's the same for all of you as well. When he said, I think we all did that. Maybe when we were all younger, yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's definitely your choice, really, what you become in life and in this industry. And like I said, you very, very often cannot dictate the situations life puts you in. You just can't. Lee couldn't help or stop his mum from passing away on New Year's Day. I couldn't stop my dad from dying, in 2006. Nothing, I've got a degenerative eye condition. There's nothing I can do to stop my eyes degenerating and my vision going. I did I did that 10-year challenge this year. This week, sorry, not this year. When they do the 10-year challenge where you showed who you were 10 years ago and then who you are today. I found a great one online showing an eye chart that was blurry in 2009 and fucking really blurry in 2019. I was like, there's my 10-year challenge. That's basically, how my eyes are going. But touch wood, they're all right. They're still, I can still do what I need to do with them. I'm incredibly grateful for the vision that I have. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, so you can't decide, the situation you're put in life, but you can always decide how you choose to respond to it. So you choose your own destiny. You really, really do, honestly. And you can choose, people are like, oh, but you know what? I went for it and it still didn't work. You know what? You went for it once and it didn't work. Oh, I say, obviously wasn't my destiny to, to win and achieve that. Well, why don't you just go again and then go again and then go again? Because you know what? Like everyone on here, even the older citizens we have on here, you've probably still got 35, 40 years left of your life, guys. There's a lot of people in here who are younger who are going to have 70 years of their life left. Time's going to pass anyway. You might as well spend it, going for that thing you want again and again and again, and then leaving this world with a tank empty, as opposed to going, you know what? I wish I'd given it one more try. Don't feel like that. Don't feel like that. It's awful. Relationships, I was saying before, like, I don't know what we're talking about on in terms of relationships. I was saying doing things for like partners and wives and stuff like that, as opposed to for you. But yeah, there's nothing worse than ending a relationship, either an intimate relationship or just a relationship with a friend or whatever, and then thinking, God, you know what? Just wish we'd give it one more go. One more go. I reckon we could have cracked it. And maybe you could. Maybe it's wishful thinking, but you don't want to do that in your life or in your career. Go for it again and again and again. You get to decide what you're destined to be and the person you're going to become. So I think that's a powerful quote as well. Francisco says, many thanks, Ross, for all these inspirational quotes and your good energy. Best wishes from Spain. Cheers, Fran. Appreciate you being here, my man. Absolutely. And got your email today. Hopefully you got my reply back. Definitely, join that's on this.tv. If you want to find out more about the industry over here in the UK, it's literally, there's no better place, mate. But thank you for being here. Can understand clear and tight. You said, that's pretty good English. I understand what you mean by that. I don't know if these words are right. It says, Fran, your English is really good, mate. Honestly, really, really good. So much better than my Spanish. I can't speak Spanish at all. Dawn says, you're awesome, Ross, for what you do for others. And Lee is one of the loveliest, kindest guys you'll ever meet. Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, Lee is a really, really good guy. John says, nervous about this. I'm Irish, but I had to play a Jewish American writer. So practice American accent in the pub. None of the drinkers suspect... Oh, right, so you actually practice your American accent with other people in the pub. None of the other drinkers suspected you weren't a Yank. Of course, I plied them with whiskey. Good on you, though, mate. That's really, really cool. Definitely. I once was a Geordie. I had to do a Geordie in a play once, and I went out. When I was at uni, I was Geordie the whole night until in the taxi on the way back. That kind of confused people a lot. But my accents definitely used to get better the more I drank. I don't drink these days, but... I'll have to give that a go at some point. So quote number 8, last quote of the night. It's just a really interesting one. Deepak Chopra said, in the midst of movement and chaos, keep stillness inside of you. And it reminded me this of a speech I heard, and I'm going to put it, I was going to play it out in this broadcast, but I'm not, because I want you to go and watch it. I'm gonna paste the link and post it in the Acts on This Facebook group straight away after this broadcast. And it's a guy who speaks. It's just a brilliant speech. Another address at a university, but it's a guy I have no idea who he is. I don't think he's famous. But he speaks so eloquently and passionately. I thought, oh my goodness, like if I could speak half as well as this guy. If I ever make a speech, I'll be so happy with myself. He's incredible, but he talks about a lot of chaos in his life and how his father said, listen, so the best piece of advice his dad had ever given him, and it was the last piece of advice his dad ever gave him, actually. He says, you stand up. Just keep standing. Ultimately, it doesn't matter if you stand, if you just stand up still, don't go down, don't fall over. Just, when everything else is going crazy around you, keep standing, stay in the game. And ultimately, just keep stillness inside of you. I think if you buy into a lot of the chaos that's going on around you, that's where you lose your head and you lose your mind. If you realize that all moments are temporary, this chaos right now that might be in your life is temporary. Equally, the worst times in your life are only temporary. So don't worry about it. They will pass. This too shall pass. But equally as well, the good times in your life are going to only be temporary. So freaking enjoy them. Every single moment of it whilst you can. But in the midst of movement and chaos, says Deepak, keep stillness inside of you. So I'm going to recap from 1 to 8 again. Let me know, between numbers 1 to 8, what your favourite quote is. I've got mine. I'll tell you after this, though. So number 1, there are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday, and the other one is called tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. Dalai Lama. Give me some likes, thumbs up, or some hearts or whatever if that's your favourite quote. In fact, let me just move my screen so I can see if anyone's doing that. See if that one's a popular one. Number 2, everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Is that you? Are you putting yourself in a position, a job, a role right now in life where you actually, it's not you. It's not what you want. It's not what you want to be doing. And maybe you're not even very good at it because you're not chasing your true passion, which is the thing you would be really good at, but you just don't quite have the balls to do it yet. Is this you? Are you the fish who's being judged by its ability to climb a tree when really, you should be in the sea swimming like a fish because that's what you're good at? I don't mean actually swimming, obviously. Quote number 3, every time you state what you want or believe, you're the first to hear it. It's a message to both you and others about what you think is possible. Don't put a ceiling on yourself. Have you been putting a ceiling on yourself in 2018? And are you sick of that now? And you're like, right, I'm breaking through this ceiling. I'm taking it down. I'm actually going to live the life I want to live in 2019. And I'm going to be true to myself ultimately. Quote number 4, even if this is my favorite one, without a doubt, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. Will Rogers, he was an actor, knew what he's talking about, obviously. It's the most relevant quote out of all of these in my life. I feel I'm on the right track in a lot of areas, but I know sometimes I completely hold my hands up. Sometimes, like really recently as well, I've just been like, yeah, well, that's all going well. I'll just leave that running as it goes. And then I see something on Facebook or Twitter that someone else is doing. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's a really good idea. I just ultimately it's a acknowledgement that there are people who are out there who you might feel aren't as talented as you, but are working harder than you, and thus they will beat you. We know hard works, I swear, beats talent when talent is not working hard. Quote number 5, I will not let anyone, this is a really important one as well, I will not let anyone walk through my mind with their dirty feet. Mahatma Gandhi said that. Please do not value other people's opinions over your own opinion of yourself. Your own opinion of yourself has to mean more than everybody else's opinion of you combined. Quote number 6, what seems to us as bitter trials, brilliant one, are often blessings in disguise. Please, if you're going through a bitter trial right now, hang in there. It will pass. If you're going through fantastic times right now, appreciate them. They will pass. That's life's rich tapestry. That's the human condition. It can't be good all the time. Appreciate the good times. Hang in there in the bad. Quote number 7, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Ralph Waldo Emerson. So true. You get the choice. You get the choice. You really, really do. Quote number 8, in the midst of movement, Deepak, in the midst of movement and chaos, keep stillness inside of you. So give me a number in the comments, 1 to 8. Which was your favourite, if you can remember? There you better remember. What was the one about being run over? Was it number 4? I think it was, wasn't it? That's my favourite, man. Quote number 4. Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. So I just wanted to highlight some of the reasons you might have had a Blue Monday today. Never live a Blue Monday again. It was some bullshit made up in 2005 anyway by Sky Travel, who probably just came up with it to sell you a holiday. So it's nonsense. That's what's interesting, isn't it? You know what? If you don't make up your own mind about what day it is, the media will make it up for you. Everyone told you it's Blue Monday today. Maybe you felt just 10% less than you would have done had you not known it was Blue Monday. Fuck that. You decide, remember, your destiny, the person you become. Don't let anybody tell you it's Blue Monday. Monday, is a fantastic day of the week. Mondays don't suck. There's that meme that I see on the internet a lot. Mondays don't suck. Your job does. And if you're in a job that you hate, please do what you need to do to get out of it. Because you can. Because I did. And lots of other people on this chat tonight have done that. And I'm certainly not where I intend to end up. But you know what? Like, there's nothing special or extraordinary about myself or the way that I've kind of done this. I worked for minimum wage in a shop for 11 years. I now earn all of my money full-time from acting and voiceover. I know what it's like to be living a life you don't want to live for minimum wage in a shit shop, thinking that you have no choice, but you do. Like I said before, if you're in that job and you're scared of leaving it, if it all goes tits up, you can go back and get that job again or an equally shit one. There's always going to be those jobs out there for people. So don't spend 15 years. Well, I spent 11 years. Don't spend 11 years in a job that you really don't want to do, because you don't have to. Honestly, I swear to God, you don't have to. We're going to be back next Monday. Same time, 9 p.m. UK time, right here on the Facebook page for Acts on This and the Facebook group, and also on Twitter, but I don't monitor the comments on Twitter, so apologies if you watched on Twitter and Periscope and I've not been communicating with your comments. It's actually because I now use my phone for the internet, because I'm in an area where I don't get super fast broadband. I have to use my phone for super fast broadband, which means I can't really access it to look at Twitter and stuff whilst I'm broadcasting. So that's why I'm just focusing on Facebook. So if you watch on Twitter and Periscope or on the replay, hugely appreciate you. Come over to Facebook next time and get involved with the actual chat as well. Facebook.com/@onthistv or Facebook.com/groups/@onthistv, because that's the Facebook group. I would love to see you in the Facebook group. We've got nearly 8,500 members, totally super inspired actors, motivated actors in the Facebook group. Would love you to be a part of that as well. Anyone got any words, anything to report before we call it a day? It's 5 to 10. We've got a couple of minutes left. I want to play you a little clip before I go of something, and like I say, I'm going to paste the speech that I told you about. This guy talking about the chaos in his life and how he got through it. Some hard hitting stuff. Not going to lie, I welled up watching this speech. I don't get that emotional, like watching stuff like that, like Well, no, it's a lie. Actually, that's a lie. I'm quite thinking back actually to a lot of the times where I do, and I have to just pretend I'm fine. But you probably will feel very touched by this speech that I put out there as well. Alex has posted a link, and I have no idea what it's going to, but he said, now for some real Blue Monday. I hope it's not a bit of blue for the dads, Alex. I don't know what that is. You'll never have a Blue Monday, Wendy, says Dawn. Thank you, John. He says, great, man. Thank you, Amy. Didn't notice you joined tonight, so thank you for being here. Those people who are new as well, if you've been on this for the first time, cheers. Like, do this every Monday. Come join the Acts on This Facebook group as well. Join the Facebook page as well, like the page, and get your membership on actsonthis.tv itself as well. I don't know if you're even aware. Some people are part of the group and they're on the email list, but they don't even realise that actsonthis.tv is the is the main website for Acts on This. That's the website that I basically put 11 years of my life into. Let me bring it up, if I can bring it up here. Actsonthis.tv. There's basically interviews on here with the biggest actors, writers, directors, and casting directors in the business. You'll see on the homepage just a few of them. Got Peter Hunt, head of Hollyoaks casting, Kate Rose James, head of Line of Duty casting, Downton Abbey's casting director, Jill Trevellick. We've got agents on there, voiceover agents on there, actors, Rachel Shenson, she's an Oscar winner, Rob James Collier in Downton Abbey, just about to do the film, he's just gone into Ackley Bridge. We've got commercial casting directors like Michael Jackson, writers like Debbie Horsfield from Poldark, directors like Nick Phillips down there, he's been directing soap for 40 years, Victor Jenkins, Humans casting director, Broadchurch casting director. I mean, so many people in here. I sit down with them and I'm like, listen, tell us how you have success in this industry. You'll save yourself years if you go actsonthis.tv, get yourself a membership. You can even get a free trial, well, not a free trial, a £1 trial if you just want to test it out for 7 days. And you just need to go to actsonthis.tv/7 days. It's the number 7 and then days. Get a 7-day trial for £1. But please get involved with the community. You will there's just gold on there. This is stuff I've implemented in my own career, and it's really been the thing that's really helped me just act full time. That's all I do. I'm going to give you a clip of a interview that I did with Julie Hesmondhouse. You'll know her from as Hayley in Coronation Street. She left many years ago. She was in Doctor Who recently. We did a great interview. This kind of is something I wanted to play out on Blue Monday, because I think this genuinely is a secret of happiness in the acting industry. Here's a 60-second clip. The big interview we did with her was well over an hour long. You'll find that on actsonthis.tv as well, but here's 60 seconds.
We'd gone out to meet up in London while I was filming Peterloo, and she kept saying, what are you doing at the moment? And I kept fudging it because I was worried that I knew she wasn't working at the time, and I was worried that she'd feel bad. And anyway, in the end, she was like, did you know they're looking for people for Peterloo and blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm filming it at the moment, and she was just like, oh my God, that's brilliant. And when we left each other, I sent her a massive text just saying, I've spent a lot of my life being really jealous of you, and your absolute generosity and pure, unadulterated joy for me that I had that job has really shamed me and really made me look at myself again and think and she was like, oh, mate, my mate, I'm just happy for you, it's blah, blah. And I really learned something from it. I just thought, to be like that is the absolute goal above anything else, above any other success. So if you can actually enjoy other people's success and be like, fair dues to you, and really feel that inside you, that is like the secret of happiness in this profession.
Boom. The secret of happiness in this profession. I truly believe it is genuinely when you can celebrate other people's successes, realizing that, that them having success does not mean that you can't have it as well. It's not like there's only a finite, number of pieces of success out there. It's like, oh, there's only 10 in the world. If Wendy has one, then there's only 9 left for me. No. It's not true at all. It's a fascinating chat I had with Julie. actonthis.tv, get your membership, and listen to the full thing. You can see people on here. So Alex says he's a paid up subscriber and it's tax deductible. Absolutely is. It's only a tenner a month. It's £1 for your 7 days if you want to try it out. Cancel within the 7 days. You'll pay nothing again. That's actonthis.tv/7 days, remember. Or just go and get a full membership for a tenner forever, £10 a month. I put at least 2 features on there every single month, brand new features. There's loads of other stuff coming as well. And there's even going to be a private community on the actual website tucked away in the members area away from Facebook that's coming out in February as well. I've done that because I'm going to be setting just some really cool stuff in there, challenges in there for people to keep people on track. People will be able to email each other when they're members of the community. There's going to be a lot more networking going on in there, live broadcasts going on specifically just for that community. Just incredible value. It's less than what a latte a week would cost you. I live above some shops, like a shopping complex downstairs here, and there's a Costa coffee down there. I get a Costa in the morning. It's £3.55. A membership to Acts on This is going to do you a lot more good than a coffee at Costa, and it's it's £1 a week cheaper than that. If you have 1 coffee a week, you're paying more than you would do for a membership to Acts on This. So that's what I wanted to play out there. From Julie. Alex says, yeah, it's tax deductible. It is tax deductible as well. You can take that off your earnings if you're an actor. Nick says he's slowly getting through the podcast. Great information on them. Thank you, Nick. And Caroline says Rob was on death in what was the anniversary of her death in Corrie. Oh right, was the anniversary of Julie's character Hayley's death in Corrie, and Rob apparently was on Death in Paradise last night. There you go. Good stuff. How about buy Ross a coffee, get podcast or 2? There you go. Just, I can have a virtual coffee if... well, you know what? Sometimes we do live broadcasts like this, but with a guest as well, Andrew. They're not public broadcasts like this, but I'll bring a casting director on, or an actor, or a director, or an agent, and we'll have a private broadcast where premium members of Acts on This, they're the only people who can join in, and you can actually jump on a call and then talk directly to the guest as well. So that's going to be a lot more of those, coming up as well. That's on this. So then you will actually genuinely be able to have a virtual coffee with us online on one of those broadcasts. Jenna's here as well. All right, Jenna. Thank you, Lolade. What an awesome name. I think I say that right. Lolade, or maybe I'm not. I have to tell me how you say that phonetically because I'll probably say it wrong. I was calling, bless her, Inez. I was calling her Ine. She's another actress on here, Inez. I was calling her Ine for well over a year before I actually met her. She was like, Ross, it's actually Inez. I was like, okay, excellent. Colin, all right, mate. He says it's great. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate you being here. So that's useful, guys. I just want to get you in the right frame of mind for this week. If I can do anything for you, I really mean it. Drop me an email anytime, ross@actonthis.tv. I've got some great content coming up for you on the main Acts on This website this month. Like I said, I've got Stephen Bailey, the presenter, coming on to talk to us all about how you get into presenting, TV presenting, if you want to be a TV presenter as well, as you're acting. And I've got a great agent, a really freaking good agent who is hustling and creating waves in this industry right now. He's a bit of a rogue, he's doing things in a very different way, but his people are working on fantastic stuff. He's only got a very small client list at the moment of 36 people. It's growing. I want to find out how he's growing it. I want to find out how you guys can get involved. If you're looking for representation, that will be an absolutely fantastic podcast as well. Bobby says, I've been afraid to do a video on Pocahontas for a while because it's so controversial. What do you mean, Bobby? What do you mean? But I'm going to do one. Don't know what you mean about the controversialness. I'm just out the loop, mate, aren't I? But hopefully, get it done, Bobby, if that's what you need to do. Nick, thank you for being here. Appreciate that. I'm just going to close the comments down on Facebook while I just get ready to end the broadcast, guys, because there is no way to end the broadcast elegantly, actually, whilst looking at the comments. But like I say, if I can do anything for anybody, you just drop me an email anytime. Sometimes it takes me a little bit of time to get back to you. I I get a lot of emails, but I always endeavour to reply to people within like, a week, 10 days. You know where I'm better to get hold of if you need anything quickly? Twitter, at Ross A. Grants or at Act on This TV. Tweet me, same on Instagram as well, at Ross A. Grants, at Act on This TV. So thank you for being here. Massively appreciate it. Oh, you've not had a Blue Monday. We'll never have a Blue Monday again. Until next time, those listening on the replay, watching the replay, thanks to you as well. I'll be back next Monday, and I'll be back randomly in the Act on This Facebook group like this week, so I'm sure I'll see you soon. All right, until then, bye for now.